I'm very pleased to be here on this very historic occasion. Today we are delivering and officially transferring 2 retired Long Island Railroad locomotives to the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum. This is the highlight of the Long Island Railroad's year-long celebration of its 175th anniversary, where we have held events paying tribute to the Long Island Railroad's rich history and the important role it played in the development of Long Island. The Oyster Bay Railroad Museum has played and continues to play a very active role in preserving and educating the Long Island community about the Long Island Railroad's history. And we at the Long Island Railroad are very pleased to be able to help the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum preserve yet another piece of Long Island Railroad history by adding these 2 retired locomotives, number 397 and number 398, to their collection. These small locomotives are called switching locomotives, or more affectionately, dinkies. They are each 150 horsepower, and we use the switch or to move passenger and freight locomotives throughout the Long Island Railroad's Morris Park diesel facility in Richmond Hill, Queens, for more than 50 years. The dinkies also pushed or pulled diesel coaches, passenger train cars, and into the diesel repair shop. The dinkies dutifully performed their functions and were a mainstay of the Long Island Railroad's diesel repair shop landscape from the 1960s through 2006 when they were retired. And both locomotives were built by General Electric in 1958. Locomotive number 398 was purchased new by the Long Island Railroad in 1958. Locomotive number 397 was acquired by the Long Island Railroad in 1987 from the Naparano Iron and Metals Company, a firm that's located in New Jersey. Each locomotive measures just over 18 feet in length, 10 feet in height, and weighs about 51,000 pounds. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum Chairman, Ben Jankowski.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for all coming today, elected officials, representatives, union officials. Ray, thank you again for the kind words. As you see here, we start with a dream, and the dream is to make Oyster Bay and the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum a destination location for tourists throughout the metropolitan region. These 2 locomotives are part of that process to have families come down, enjoy the day in Oyster Bay, enjoy the day at the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum, but something more too, which is to take in the sights of this historic community, from Sagamore Hill to Raynham Hall, to the Reitman House, to the Waterfront Center. We feel at the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum that we can play an integral part in making this a destination location for tourists throughout the region, and certainly these 2 locomotives are another step in that process. We thank you all for coming. I'd like to, at this time, turn it over to our president, John Spees. John.
Thanks all for coming. I'm just going to echo what Ben said. It's so important that this museum get up and running because it will have tremendous economic benefit to the community and the region. They are called dinkies, but they are big. And they just didn't arrive here magically and snapped our fingers. So I wanted to take a moment to thank those individuals and groups that really brought this to fruition. And that would be the Long Island Railroad Management, the various departments that provided the logistical support, the crews that physically loaded and unloaded the engines at both Richmond Hill and Oyster Bay, and the leadership team of the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum and the volunteers. We're going to continue to pursue our long-term goal of establishing, as Ben said, a family-friendly regional railroad museum with the addition of these 2 historic locomotives. We are getting closer to the realization of that goal, and I know the railroad shares our vision, and we look forward to continue to work together in the future towards that goal. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, thank you very much, John. And at this time, I'd like to acknowledge Dennis Rodriguez. I had missed him before. He's the National Transportation Supervisors Association, another one of the Long Island Railroad unions. And also at this time, I'd like to invite Senator Marcelino to say a few words.